Hi, this is Tish. I know I look a little different, but it's me. You know, as I continued on, I started expanding my horizons and meeting new kids. New kids on the block, new kids across the street, new kids down the street, up a hill and down another street. So I was starting to make a lot of friends, not only in school, but in the neighborhood. Now, of course, Kathy was my best friend for sure, but when we started going to school, Kathy went to Catholic school and I went to a public school, which was okay, but I didn't get to see Kathy a lot through the week, weekends, but not the week. Well, one of these friends, his name was Morris. He was younger than me, but he was a cutie. He really was. I have pictures, not very good pictures of Morris. I only have 2 of them. The little guy on the left is Morris. Then there's Kathy, my best friend. Another girl in the neighborhood, Anna Marie. And of course, there I am, the biggest of the bunch. And another day, somebody, I guess it was my mother, took this picture of Morris. He's in the middle. Anna Marie, of course, that's not my sister, but Anna Marie's on the one side and I'm on the other. We played with Morris a lot. We really liked Morris. And I think he was probably about 8 years old, maybe 9. And he was having a birthday party. And all the neighborhood kids, including me, we were invited. Oh, this is a big deal. I mean, I've gone to some parties here and there, but this was going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one. So we went, and Morris got a bike. He was so happy with that bike. And we were happy for him because, you know, it's about time he got on a bike. 2-wheeler now. 2-wheeler. Yeah, no, not 3-wheelers. A regular adult bike. Most of the kids in the neighborhood could ride. I know I was doing it, Kathy was doing it, and Morris was the last one. So he finally got his bike. What a great day that was. And the next day, all of a sudden, I'm in the back of our apartment building. And all of a sudden, I hear this woman, and I see this woman screaming her lungs out. I mean, she was screaming. I could tell something was very wrong. I couldn't figure out what. Finally, the only word I understood was Morris. Well, I knew by the way she was acting something was very wrong. Here I go. I'm running down that alleyway. I'm running. I turn the corner, and I still am running, and I see this big tractor trailer truck. And I saw Morris's bike all crushed up. And I saw Morris's body from the shoulders down. His head was flattened to the road. Oh my God, I will never forget that sight. I only saw briefly because a man there, I don't even know who he was, turned me around and started walking me back. He says, no, you don't want to see any more of this. You need to go back. So, on my way back, which was a lot slower than on my way down. Here I see Kay. That's Morris's mother. Now, she was a big, hefty woman. She was a big woman. And I can remember her moving faster than I've ever heard her or saw her. And two men ran up in front of her and tried to hold her back. I mean, these were pretty good-sized men. And she flicked them off like they were feathers. I don't know whether they just didn't have a good grip on her or they didn't expect it that she would react like that. I don't know. But there was no stopping Kay from going down. I did not see her after she made that turn. I did not see her. I know my mother ran out of the house. She ran down. And there was just so many neighbors, my mother said, outside trying to console Kay. I mean, can you imagine seeing your only child run over by a tractor trailer? Anyway, I mean, there was no charges filed against the tractor trailer driver. Here, Morris is driving down the alleyway towards the street, lost control, slid right in front of the back wheels of the trailer on the road. And the driver said when he started to move forward, he could tell that he went over something. And, you know, I mean, he stopped. What were the chances of that? I mean, I'm sure they go over stuff all the time, but anyway, he stopped and he was a basket case. My mother said, I didn't see him, but he was a basket case, but there was no charges filed against him because, you know, he didn't know Morris. I mean, if he had known Morris was laying there right in front of the wheels of the tractor trailer, he would not have gone. Let's face it. Well, I'll tell you, that memory of him lying there, brings back tears, really. Poor little guy. He was gone. The next day, they got his bike and they put it up against a trash can. I remember. They put it up against a trash can and someone from the paper took a picture of it. I don't know what paper, local paper, I guess. I saw the photographer take that picture. Of course, I never saw Morris again. There wasn't any chance of me going to a funeral. You know, I really never have been to a funeral yet. So, Morris was gone. Boy, what a tragedy to see it so early in my life. I'm about 10, 11 maybe, 10, 11. After that, I started to think about safety, and I started to think about how to look at a situation and figure out what could possibly go wrong. So I always tried then to be prepared for anything. I was always very observant of what was going on around me. Of course, I was learning that by taking care of my brother and my sister, but that was a big shock. And I decided that I was going to read the Bible. I can remember sitting on that porch in the back, the same porch that the cats used to come up on. They didn't anymore. Well, gee, I wonder why. But I sat in a lounge chair on that porch and I started to read the Bible. Now, I've heard since then You're not supposed to start reading it at the beginning. I don't know what is the thinking behind that, because the first book of Genesis was put there for a reason. So I started to read Genesis. I had a hard time understanding what I was reading. I was getting the gist of it, but I know I was losing a lot of information. And I went through the begats. I couldn't follow that. And I honestly tried to continue further in the Bible, but I wasn't understanding. I really wasn't understanding what I was reading anymore. Now, keep in mind, I went to church every Sunday. I was baptized in the same church. I went to Sunday school at the same church. I went to the same church up until that point. But there was no guidance at church. I can't remember. I mean, I knew the gist of we were, talking about Jesus and he was our Savior and talking about God. I knew that. But to go any further, there was no way. And I wasn't getting any help. There was no one to help me. Not at home and not at church. And that was going to stick with me for a long time. Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what God said about the death of my friend. It's the first death of one of my friends. Unfortunately, there's more to come. See you next time. Thanks for your comments. They're actually starting to come in. I'm excited about that. Thank you so much. And if you have a negative comment, please tell me. I'm not going to take it personally. I need to learn. This is a big learning lesson, I can tell you. This has been an experience. But there's a lot more to tell. Stay tuned.